Finally, you learn from the incidents. What went wrong? How can you prevent it from happening again? Use it as a learning experience to strengthen your security measures going forward. After all, best time to learn how to swim is not while you're drowning. Hello, and welcome back to the Tech Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Peter, and today we have another important topic that I'm sure will be of great value to you. It's so important that I'm writing a book on it, and the topic is cybersecurity essentials. Now, I know the word cybersecurity might sound a bit intimidating. It seems like one jargon-filled, tech-heavy subject, right? But trust me, today we're going to break it down into bite-sized, digestible pieces, and most importantly, going to make it relevant and applicable to your business. You see, in this digital age, our businesses, big or small, are more online than ever before. From customer data to financial transactions, everything lives on the internet. And while this has opened up incredible opportunities for all of us, it also means that we are exposed to new risks that can pose severe threats to our businesses. I want to share a quick story with you. I know someone who used to run a small e-commerce store, and some years ago he woke up to customer complaints that their website was down. At first he thought it was a temporary glitch, but hours turned into days, and after a while he discovered that his website had fallen victim to a cyber attack. This wasn't $1 million e-commerce company, just a small e-commerce store. It took weeks for them to restore everything, and the financial impact of that was horrible because not long after that, the business had to shut down. This could happen to any of us. And it underlines the fact that cybersecurity is no longer optional in today's business landscape. It's essential for the largest and the smallest businesses. So, are you ready to safeguard your business against these invisible yet potent threats? To start off, let's talk about what we're up against. Just like we have a variety of businesses out there, we also have a lot of cyber threats. The first step to effective cybersecurity is understanding these threats. Let's start with phishing, that's PH. Phishing is a type of cyber attack where cyber criminals impersonate legitimate organizations to trick people into sharing sensitive information like passwords or credit card numbers. Picture this. You receive an email that looks like it's from your bank or from the HMRC asking you to update your account details. You click the link, enter your information, and congrats, just handed your login details to cyber criminals. This is literally phishing online for unsuspecting humans. Next, we have malware. Malware is software that's designed to cause damage or provide unauthorized access to your computer or network. According to the website Statista, there were 5.5 billion malware attacks on businesses last year, 2022. That's billion with a B. And 76%, that's 3 out of 4 organizations were targeted by malware. This always leads to a lot of issues. Ransomware is a specific type of malware and it is as sinister as it sounds. Here, a hacker locks you out of your system, then demands a ransom to give you access back to your data. You might remember the headline last year when a well-known law firm's data was held ransom. They ended up paying thousands of dollars to regain control of their own information. Another cyber threat we're going to talk about is insider threats. This is when someone within your organization misuses their access to harm the company. A famous case happened a few years ago when an employee at a tech company intentionally deleted critical project files, setting the company back months in their development timeline. Now, I know these examples might sound scary and that's not my intention, My goal is to show you that these threats are real and they are happening right now. But don't worry, in the next part, we're going to talk about how you can protect your business against these threats. Having understood the common cyber threats, let's talk about why it's crucial that we don't ignore them. When a business falls victim to a cyber attack, the consequences can be far-reaching and honestly quite damaging. Financial loss is the most immediate consequence. This could come from paying a ransom, as we talked about, from losing valuable data that hampers your operations. There's also the cost of repairing the damage done, and also you might be liable to a fine for a cyber attack with the new GDPR and other data protection laws popping up everywhere. But the financial aspects, while it hurts, is just a tip of the iceberg. Let's consider reputation. Your reputation is crucial to your business success. Imagine you're a customer and you hear that a business you patronize has suffered a data breach and your personal information is now in the hands of cyber criminals. Would you trust that business again? Chances are you might think twice. There are also potential legal repercussions. Depending on the nature of your business and the data compromised, there might be regulatory fines or lawsuits to deal with. Having customer data stolen is already a violation of data protection laws, which have become popular in many countries and can leave your business liable for heavy fines. Finally, the morale of your employees can take a hit. A cyber attack can create an environment of fear and distrust, so the stakes are high, really high. But as daunting as this may sound, it's not a reason for you to panic. Instead, let's channel this understanding you have now into motivation to take action. Up next, we'll talk about some steps you can start taking today to protect your business from these cyber threats. The first thing I want you to consider is something that I like to call cybersecurity hygiene. Think of it like brushing your teeth or washing your hands. Small, regular actions that have a big impact on your overall health. So what does cybersecurity hygiene look like? Let's start with passwords, the gatekeepers of your data. It's tempting to go for something easy to remember like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or your birthday or something, but this is similar to leaving your house door wide open and stepping out. Ensure you and your employees are using strong, unique passwords for each account. You can consider using a password manager to keep track of all of them. Next up is two-factor authentication, or 2FA for short. I'm sure you've heard of that. It's that layer of extra security that can really make a difference. It's like having a double lock on your front door. Even if someone somehow gets your password, 2FA can stop them in their tracks. Updates and patches might seem like a nuisance sometimes, even to me. Your computer starts updating right when you're in the middle of something important. Or maybe you try to open an app and it tells you no update first. That's annoying. But the truth is, these updates often include vital security improvements that guard against known threats, so make it a habit to update regularly. And finally, the unsung hero of cybersecurity hygiene is backing up your data. Remember the ransomware attack we discussed? Having a backup can mean the difference between paying a hefty ransom and just simply ignoring it and restoring your data. Think of it like having a spare set of keys. That reminds me of an issue I had just a couple of days ago. I lost the spare keys to my car. I've had one key for a couple of months now. So the other day I woke up and I couldn't find my key anywhere. I searched every single place till I found that it fell behind the couch. Of course, I've gone to make a spare, and that's how important backups are. If you lose one set of your keys, you have another. These steps are just the beginning, but they are crucial. Cybersecurity hygiene might not be glamorous, but it's your first and arguably most important line of defense against cyber threats. Coming up next, we'll discuss some additional measures you can take to further secure your business. Now that you've mastered the basics of cybersecurity hygiene, let's venture into some more advanced measures. Picture this: you have a fortress. It's fortified with strong walls. So that's your strong password policies and your 2FA. You have lookouts up at all times. That's your regular updates and patches. And you have a contingency plan. That's your data backup. But what about your main gates? What protects it? And that's where a firewall comes in. So a firewall is essentially the gatekeeper of your network. It filters the traffic coming in and out of your network, deciding which is safe and which could be a potential threat. It's like having a very selective bouncer at your club's entrance, only letting in the VIPs and keeping out any troublemakers. In today's age of remote work, securing just your office network though is not enough. There's nobody's in the office, including me. What about your employees accessing company data from their home networks or from that coffee shop across town? This is where virtual private networks or VPNs come in. A VPN, a good VPN, secures your internet connection no matter where you are by encrypting the data you send and receive. So it's like sending your data in a sealed, unbreakable box that only you have the key to. In this digital age where work is no longer confined to the four walls of an office, having a secure network is paramount. So a firewall for your office network and VPNs for your remote workers can go a long way in securing your business against cyber threats. In the next part, we'll talk about another key player in the game of cybersecurity, which is your employees. Your employees, these are the unsung heroes in any fight against cyber threats. Employees can be your first line of defense against cyber threats, provided that they are properly trained. Let's start with cases of phishing, with the PH like I said. A lot of employees fall for phishing attempts because they don't recognize the signs. They might get an email from the company HR, probably giving them a free Starbucks voucher, and it can be a fake email, and you don't want that to be your employees. Training your employees to spot these tricky attempts is crucial. Teach them to look for red flags like unexpected mails, poor grammar, suspicious attachments or links. Also teach them to be wary before clicking on anything, and to always cross-check every email or SMS even that comes into their devices. Next, we'll talk about responsible device and data usage. So this goes beyond just telling your team not to download suspicious apps, click suspicious links, or visit shady websites. It's about teaching them to handle company data responsibly. Encourage them to only use secure company-approved devices and software when working, and to always double-check who they are sharing sensitive data with. It's like always making sure that you're passing the football to your teammates and not to the opposing team. Lastly, your employees need to know when and how to report suspicious activity. If they spot something out of the ordinary, they should know to report it to your IT team or your designated cybersecurity officer right away. This could be the difference between catching a cyber threat early and letting it slip through the cracks. So there you have it, employee training, the secret weapon in your cybersecurity arsenal. So up next, we'll talk about what happens if a breach actually occurs and how you can bounce back. This will be the last chapter, or almost the last chapter in the book I'm writing. So what happens when a breach does occur? It's like a fire drill. You hope you never have to use it, but you are really glad it's there when you need it. And that's incident response planning for you. First, you have to identify the breach. It's like realizing you left a tap running, only this tap is pouring out sensitive data. This is why early detection is key. The faster you know there is a leak, the less damage possible. The next thing you have to do is to contain the damage. This could involve disconnecting affected systems or changing access credentials. It's like putting a bucket under the leaky tap until you can get the plumber, or in this case your IT team or consultant, in to fix things. After that, assess the impacts. How much data was compromised? Who is affected? It's like checking how much of your house got flooded. This would guide your next steps. And then comes the hard part, notifying appropriate parties. This could be anyone from your customers to regulatory bodies, depending on the nature and the extent of the breach. It's like telling your spouse you forgot about the tap. It's not fun, but it's necessary. Finally, you learn from the incidents. What went wrong? How can you prevent it from happening again? Use it as a learning experience to strengthen your security measures going forward. After all, best time to learn how to swim is not while you're drowning. Now it's worth mentioning recovery. A reliable recovery plan is your safety net. Think of it like insurance. You hope you never need to use it, but it's invaluable when things go south. I had an accident just April and the insurance was a lifesaver. The recovery includes having regular data backups, which are your digital lifelines, and cyber insurance to help mitigate the financial fallout of a breach. So there you go. We just had in the past few minutes a crash course in response and recovery. We've covered a lot today, haven't we? But let's quickly revisit the highlights. We explored the vast cybersecurity threatscape, from pesky phishing scams to ruthless ransomware, and how they can wreak havoc on your business. From financial loss to tarnished reputations, potential fallout is all too real. We then dove into your armor against these threats, cybersecurity hygiene. Remember your cyber health checklist, robust passwords, two-factor authentication, regular patches and updates, and also regular data backups. It's like keeping your house clean. The basics keep you safe. We also looked at more advanced protective measures, the necessity of a firewall, secure network systems, and VPNs for those working from home. Consider it like installing a top-notch home security system, a worthy investment to keep the bad guys out. And let's not forget our employees, the front line in our cyber defense. Training them to recognize and report threats can make a world of difference. We then touched upon response and recovery planning, the fire drill for when things go wrong. It's all about minimizing damage, swiftly notifying those affected and other stakeholders, and learning from that experience to emerge stronger. If you are serious about ramping up your cybersecurity, consider bringing in the pros. Hiring cybersecurity professionals or partnering with a managed service provider can offer expert guidance and robust protection. You can also get my book on the topic, which would be in simple language and very short. I've spent most of the time getting the fluff out of it if it has been ready for a while. One thing you have to remember is that it's not about reaching a finish line. It's about continuous improvements. So closing off, remember that cybersecurity is not a one-time activity. It's a lot like maintaining your health. You don't hit the gym once and expect to be fit for life, right? That's the same thing with cybersecurity. Start with the basics and enhance your security posture as your business grows. This is a journey, my friends, and every step you take towards a more secure business is a step in the right direction. I've mentioned the book I'm releasing on cybersecurity soon. It's going to be a small, easy to understand and actionable guide anybody can follow to secure their business at the most basic level. You can sign up to our mailing list to be the first to know when it's out. One aspect where online security is important is remote work. Episode 6 of the Take Your Business podcast talks about mastering remote team leadership. I'm sure you really enjoyed that episode if you enjoyed this. So until next time, stay safe in this digital world. This is Peter, signing off.